All right, YouTube. Here behind me, I have the 81 Monte Carlo. Today, I got a buddy of mine. He gave me a pair of hood hinges. The ones on my car are bad, so we're gonna be putting those on today. It's my first DIY video. I got me a tripod, so now I can film myself and work. So hopefully you all like it. Let's get started. I believe we're gonna get started with a pair of 13mm wrenches, sockets, I mean. It's gonna be a 13mm. We'll get started with these bolts. So my hood hinges on here are broke. So for both of them, as you can see, this part here is already broke off, and look here, the actual hinge broke off, so trash now. Weather not too bad out here today. Thought it'd be a lot colder. It's kind of warmed up some today. I must have caught the weather at a good time. So the plans for this car is simply to daily it. Not looking to do anything necessarily racing wise with it. It's got rally wheels on it. It's got a 305 V8. Gonna do a nice sound system in it. Gonna do window tint, possibly wheels in the future, different kind. Repaint it. You know, it's pretty much a daily. It has heat, has air. It was returned to the road. So I'm gonna be making some more progress videos. I'm redoing the interior myself. I got a console test fitted that I went and got from the junkyard. I still need to clean it up, but it's test fitted. It fits good. Also have been sealing the floors. Got to finish taking up the carpet. Seal the other side. Paint it black. I've been putting kill mat down. I'm looking for Monte Carlo bucket seats for this car. It has gray leather seats in it, similar to bucket. Doesn't really match the interior. The interior is burgundy. So I'm looking for those. I'm gonna also be putting a new dash cover on, something else I plan on ordering. And like I said, audio system. Gonna be in future video attempting to do my own headliner. Never did a headliner on any car before, so that's gonna be a first. I've looked at a few other DIY videos on this car specifically on YouTube, and from what I see, it looks pretty simple. I want to give it a try. Can't be so bad. But let's get back into this hood. So normally people, two people change a hood. It's just me out here today, so I'm gonna do it the easiest way possible without having to take the hood all the way off of the car. Actually, I see a few small boats. This car is mostly original. Each hood hinge has a little bitty boat on each side. Looking at it, I'd say about a 6.5 millimeter. That's actually spot on, 6.5 millimeter. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my 13 millimeter down. I'm gonna grab a adapter, an extension. I'm gonna take those little bolts out. What I was worried about. The little boat must have been holding it there. What I'm gonna have to do is take this bad boy all the way up. Trying to do this without messing up my hood. The other side still has that small boat. Some of these are learning experiences for me myself as well. So, yeah. Trying not to damage my windshield. So I'm gonna take this hood all the way off. Right? Monte Carlo hood is heavy when it starts. My Cutlass got a fiberglass. I see why they normally do two people, but it's no biggie. Back to that 13 millimeter. Got a total of 5 13 millimeters on each side. 2 in the hood directly, 1 6.5 millimeter on each side. Then you got 3 13 millimeters, 2 on the top side fender, and then 1 on each side lower. Boats are kind of old, real rusted. Actually got a cow hood coming soon for this thing. That's something else to be on the lookout for, a future video. Gonna do an install video on that as well. First hood hinge off. As you can see, these things are pretty broken up. Really rusted. Like I said, it's missing the whole spring. This is gonna be our driver side for the new hood hinge. Get these bolts started by hand. Those are going to be my two top fender 13 millimeters. I'm not tightening them. I'm just pretty much gonna hand tight them in place while I get everything else bolted up. Outside of recording racing content, I work on my own vehicles. Anything that I can do myself until I get saved up for the buy my dream garage. I just want to do a metal building in the backyard. Originally, I said a 40 by 60 till I saw the price. So I'm thinking something more along the lines of like a 30 by 50. I was told that 40 by 60 kind of gets into the commercial size structure. And when you get there, things typically get expensive. So gonna hold off on that 40 by 60. Initially, I want a garage with 2 lifts. I can make that 30 by 50 work, no problem. Got multiple cars. Some of them have not been introduced to the channel just yet, but they will be being introduced to the channel as we progress. That lower bolt, I went ahead and tightened that one. Now I'm going to tighten these uppers. Seems good to me. All right, let's get this other side pulled off. Again, these are going to be your upper 13 mil bolts. Got a couple other videos coming for this car. Another upgrade we're going to make. Right now, this car has a Holley 600 carb on it. It's going to sound crazy because I'm a Holley guy myself. I have ran an Elderbrock, but pretty much the Holley 600 on here has been rebuilt once by myself because I've learned how to do them in the past with race cars and stuff, helping my dad growing up. And then it was professionally rebuilt by AD Carburetors located in Chesterfield, Virginia. I had it rebuilt by them, and each time, both myself rebuilding it and them rebuilding it, I don't know what it is about this car, but it tends to suck air. And again, everything was replaced inside of it. The only thing I can think that would be left at this point that might be going on is a hairline crack in the actual structure, but I feel like that's something that may have been caught if that were the case. Of course, all the vacuums are as they should be. So all that has been looked into. Second mount off. As you can see, that thing's rusted, kind of seized. Second one down. New one. Probably should have hit these with some gloss black, but again, we'll be putting a cowl 2-inch on the car later. Probably gonna dress these up better when we do that. But until then, let's get this second mount on. Again, gonna start with my 2 upper fender bolts, not tightening them, just hand snugging them. Wifey must be going on an errand run. Must be running to the store. You know how it is. Christmas Eve, lots of last minute stuff. I actually had to go to the junkyard get these lower bolts. Crazily, I had it at my buddy's shop. We used this lift to work on the car, and when the hood mounts broke, of course, any mechanic knows this, unless you have a garage and of course have expanded your tool collection. Something else I need to do, by the way. We typically tend to set bolts on this cowl plate in front of the windshield. Drove the car home. from Ashland, Virginia, and forgot my hood hinge lower fender bolts was sitting up there. So because of that, I lost them, obviously. So I went to the junkyard and pulled these hinge bolts off another car. And they work perfectly, thankfully. Now that I got that lower bolt tightened up, I'm tightening my upper fender bolts. When you're doing stock location and whatnot like this, you typically want to make sure you have this stuff tight when you put it down, because of course as you drive, the car vibrates. Some of this stuff can loosen up. And the first time I ever did one of these hoods on these cars, getting that gap perfect with your header panel and whatnot, you want to make sure all that lines up perfect. And that's something that's going to be the final adjustments with this particular hood until we get the cowl, and of course the same thing with the cowl. I'm gonna show you all the setup. I'm using selfie camera, so like I said, you take a look. That is the 600 Holland. Surprisingly, for it to be rebuilt, it's so dirty. Got an Elderbrock 600 going on there. I picked up a new one, so that is going to be what's going on in the car. There we go. Got those bolts in. Now it's getting the hood back on here and getting everything lined up. I'm gonna temporarily move this. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna set this stuff, man. Don't want to crack the windshield. Gonna have to try to set the hood in place and use this sledgehammer to kind of hold it up, so I can try to get a boat in. I should have a second set of hands for this. Anybody doing this? Anybody's ever done this? Normally you have two people, one on each side. But we're gonna try to make it work. Got my two uppers. Got my two upper hood bolts in position on each side of the cowl. Yep. Thinking the best way to do this, again, I don't want to damage this hood. I don't want to damage my fenders or my windshield. Ah. Tell you what, I'm gonna set that right there. Let's see if I can get a boat in this thing. Try to get one on the other side as well. You're not gonna tighten these bolts up because you're gonna have to adjust it. You're gonna have to slide them to adjust. Want to just try to get your bolt lined up. Just getting this thing knocked out. I'm gonna have to adjust this. Okay, I've got the two bolts in. We're gonna try. So on the corner where the small bolt goes, as you saw, the hood got loose on me when I took that small bolt out. It put a little dent, not dent, it bent it a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is take a regular hammer and just straighten it a little bit. I'm gonna take my socket and tap against it with the end of the socket, tapping the socket with the hammer. I'm no professional at none of this stuff. It's just I'm working with my dad and my uncle and just watching and learning over the years. You know, you kind of get to the stage where you can look at something like I can eyeball both sides. I can look at something and come up with like a quick MacGyver type of instincts to make things work. It's a blessing of knowledge. I'm gonna take that 6.5 millimeter and I'm just gonna get that started. Actually, hold that thought. So these on the old mounts is where this small screw screws into. So from what I see, looks like you can squeeze them by hand or take a pair of pliers and squeeze them. And see, I'm working that out. You can see it starting to come out. Oh, there we go. Got it out. That's one. And this one's gonna be two. Just wiggling, working with your thumb. Give it a squeeze and push. Might need to get the, nope. About to say I might need the pliers, got it. Now these are gonna pop in from the back side. Nope, actually it's supposed to pop in through the front side. Kind of messed up here. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna loosen, because they're not fully tight up top. I'm gonna loosen the back lower bolt to give me a little bit of gap to pop this in place on the lower mount. So the back bolt, I'm just gonna loosen it. Loosen it enough to get enough space to pop this thing in. And that is popped in. So now, with my bolt still loose, I'm gonna slightly slide this hood for to fit that bolt in. Gonna need that 6.5 mil, as well as my extension and adapter. The adapter takes it from 3/8 to 1/4. So I got that one in. So now, while I loosen that back bolt, I'm gonna put a little bit of snug back on it. While it's on my mind, it's come to my attention through self-thought. I never really introduced myself to the channel. Well, I have and I haven't. A lot of you all don't necessarily know a lot about me, and I'm gonna fill you in on who King Brad Racing is and a little bit about me. So I call myself King Brad. That's the name of my YouTube channel and racing. That's my own brand and name that I came up with and whatnot. So me, I'm 20, just turned 28 years old on December 2nd. And I've been around and, you know, dealing with cars with my dad and my uncle, learning and stuff growing up. I always had like a passion and love for cars. One day I decided to start posting YouTube videos and whatnot, being that I own 2 race cars currently myself. When I say race car, that applies to street as well. I'm gonna just say street and strip cars. So I own a '88 Fox body that I recently bought. It's gonna be introduced to the channel. That car had a small block Chevy engine in it. It had turbo 350 transmission. currently has a 7.5 in it that is built 411 gears. It's got the VMS 15 by 8s on it. And yeah, it looks pretty good. It's like I said, I'm gonna be introducing it to the channel. It already has a fiberglass 4-inch cowl. Also, I'm gonna be doing, like, once my Cutlass, all of you know the face car of my channel is my 86 Cutlass street car. We're doing an engine rebuild on that. Future videos coming for that. Process has started. Steady making progress on that. In the meantime, I'm just, fooling with this car a little bit. Just going in between the two. But the Cutlass should be finished up by, I'm hoping, late March, if not sooner. But yeah, as far as that Fox body, I'm pretty much gonna do everything to it. Tubular K member, tubular A arms. I already bought an 8.8 for the car. Gonna fully build that with 35 spline axle kit, C-clip laminator, spool. A lot of my buddies run 8th mile. I heard 4/3 is a good gear. Might try that out. Disc brakes, that's gonna be a thing. Pretty much anti-roll bar. Going all the way with it. Still gonna be streetable, but it's probably gonna be one of the fastest cars I own on the channel. So definitely more future updates coming for that car. And like I said, I got some videos gonna be coming of the Cutlass, some stuff. I'm timing my release for that. But gonna get back into these boats. I was born and raised in Petersburg, Virginia. So that's pretty much my hometown. Career, outside of cars, buying them, flipping them, working on them, racing them, all that good stuff, car shows. Outside of that, my career is I drive 18-wheeler. So I'm a commercial driver, Class A CDL holder with all my endorsements. So that's what I do to earn my money. Not really on YouTube for, not really making money or nothing. Not really looking to do that. Just want people to know who King Brad Racing is. And some of the content of cars I post. Of course, future to come. Gonna be actually getting a camera and no longer recording from the phone. So that'll eventually happen. Probably gonna start getting some of those mics. I see people wear mics on their clothes, so probably gonna be getting some of those as well. Definitely want to make sure I'm giving you all crisp audio and perfect, as close to perfect clarity of all picture. So that's a couple things to come. Gonna get back into these hood hinge boats. We're gonna get this stuff wrapped up. Tighten these boats up. I just want to see what my lineup is looking like. I know I'm probably gonna have to make further adjustments. I want to get a quick idea of where I'm at as far as adjustment. little bit more about me. Favorite, love G-bodies. Dream car is a 69 Camaro. Stays up on its own. At first it didn't. In the future, with the Fox body, I might try the LS stuff. Never tried LS before. Let's see how these close. Looking pretty good. Actually, I need to adjust that little bolt on the driver's side. Need to be screwed in just a little more. Want to make sure it's clearing that fender gap. Same with the passenger. I'm gonna put some PD on some of this stuff. Surprisingly, I didn't do bad with the lineup. See a place right there I'm gonna have to adjust. All good on this side. That gap is pretty spot on. That's pretty spot on. Just need an adjustment right here. A piece of the metal hung. Just gonna tap it with the hammer. Might not even need the hammer. Might just use the 3/8 ratchet. Oh, don't need a hammer. Oh, definitely gonna need that hammer. I'm gonna use the hammer, and again the edge of the socket. What happened was that corner kind of got a little bit jacked up, nothing major, just a little piece of the edge of the metal had hung when I took that bolt out and the hood got loose on me. Just tapping it back in place. Very minor. Very minor. Gonna make sure not to make that mistake with my cow hood when I get it. Definitely don't want to make that mistake with that. So far, I think my first DIY video feel like it's not going too bad. I'm gonna do a final tighten up on these small 3.5 mil bolts. Correction. Just realized I picked up my 6.5. That's actually a 7. I don't know if you all can see that. It's actually a 7mm. My sockets got scrambled. 7mm. That's gonna be a 7mm, not a 6.5. Lastly, gonna do a final snug. Make sure all my 13 mils are tight. Everything's tight. Shout out to my buddy Cody for the hood hinges. Definitely appreciate that. Cody owns a nice Monte Carlo. It's dark blue. Goes by the name of Raiden. So shout out to Cody. You've probably seen his car on the channel. Highlighted coming in 2025. So big shout out and appreciation for the hood hinges. Yep, that's gonna do it. These hood hinges are on. Everything works perfect. This here needs a little bit of PB. I might have some. Got some penetrating oil. Now to avoid getting this stuff, because it typically comes out looking like rust color, gonna try to grease it without making a mess on the way. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold this rag under it and hit it with some penetrating oil. Pause. I'm just gonna work that back and forth. Better already. Also gonna spray the latch. Without the latch, just gonna make sure it's all good. I'm gonna go ahead and hit these. Also, don't really need them, but why not? Makes it a little bit smoother anyway. So that definitely works out. Looks like we're good to go on that. I'm gonna raise this up a couple times. Work that PB. We're gonna say PB in. That works perfect. One finger. Very happy with that outcome. And we're gonna be done with this video. Appreciate you all. King Brad Racing here, first DIY video. Hopefully you all enjoy it. Again, 1981 Monte Carlo. More videos to come. Till then, like and subscribe.